Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. So, we're going to do a mindfulness meditation for about 25 minutes. And we're going to be continuing this approach of integrated mindfulness, meaning both the kind of traditional practices of being aware of the body or breath or sound or thoughts, but rather than paying attention to those um, external or internal sensory experience from the kind of doing, um, deliberate mindfulness mind, we are opening instead to this awake awareness, this intuitive awareness that is already here, already aware, and is actually much better able to handle difficulty and show us other alternatives and opportunities than the kind of small mind or me, which we tend to identify with the kind of narrator in the mind. So, just coming into the posture that will support you in being both alert and at ease, and reminding yourself of your intention for the practice period, that it truly is okay to put aside whatever else the mind might be concerned with, the past, the future, things you need to do. Being clear with yourself that it really is okay to put all of that aside for this short period of time. And noticing how we can quickly connect with this self reflective capacity of the mind that we call mindfulness. It's there really in a flash. And so just resting in that mindfulness to be aware of what it's like right now, aware of the body sitting and breathing, aware of what it's like in the mind, whether busy, dull, calm, open, whatever it is, noticing what it's like in the heart, what the overall emotional tone is right now. And as we're doing that, noticing that perhaps there is an almost knee jerk reaction to change the mind or heart or the body in some way to make it better. So as we get more attuned to that kind of active, fixing, almost battling the moment, we can notice that and kind of step to the side, let go of kind of mindlessly going down the path of trying, of effortful making things better. Not that that tool, so to speak, doesn't work at all. It does, but we're actually aiming for something a bit more effective here. And so we notice that intention perhaps to change things, fix them. And as we notice that, we could just kind of open and realize there is this possibility in a much greater sense to allow things as they are. And in fact, our intuitive awake awareness will take care of whatever it was we were trying to fix. Since that awake awareness itself is unimpeded by the kind of stress, struggling against what's here right now. So aware of the body, sitting and breathing. And so here's the invitation to make this leap to this intuitive awareness. So noticing right now, if you follow the instruction or invitation to be aware of the body, sitting and breathing, there's likely a sense of me, the meditator, kind of in here, back here somewhere, aware of the body. So me up here, aware of this, aware of breathing, right? Noticing that. So the invitation is to flip that around. So the body, instead of me aware of the body aware of me. The mind might want to figure that out. What does that mean? Is that possible? That's just more of the same, fixing, deliberate mind. So, right, I'm aware of the body, me aware of the body. I can flip it around. The body aware of me. The body already part of this awake, intuitive awareness. So, trying that out. What's that like? Just leaving it to the body. You don't need to do anything. That me has really nothing to do right now. Allowing the body to be aware of itself, aware of breathing, the body aware of me. The you, that's the meditator, can take time off right now. You have nothing to do. The awake awareness of the body has got this. So when you notice that the attention has gotten pulled into thinking, at that moment, you can also notice that the kind of the little me inside that's trying to control or direct things is going to step up almost definitely to get the meditation back on track. And so, with this practice, the opportunity, as soon as that happens, is to recognize that that's actually not needed. It's just a thought pattern. You can you can tell it to sit back down, that this awake awareness, this embodied awake awareness already is present, already is aware of what's happening in this moment. So letting that little meditator sit back down and opening once again, recognizing this awake, intuitive awareness represented by the body is already aware, aware of the body, aware of breath, even aware of the little meditator in your head. Nothing for you to do. It's already happening. Awareness is already happening. And so, if you like, you can experiment with expanding this perspective. So, beginning with this sense of the body is aware of itself, aware of me, the body, which is already awake and aware, can recognize that the body, as we're talking about it right now, is really a part of this intuitive awareness, which is all around you, within you, limitless, boundless. So we can move from this sense of the body has got my back. The body is already awake and aware of me, to recognizing there's really no boundary necessary at all. That boundary of the body is actually just a concept in the mind for our purposes. So expanding, so this intuitive, awake awareness surrounding me, within me, is me. So without my help, without the help of the little meditator, this awake awareness is already aware, already in the present moment. It can't be anywhere else. So I don't have to drive. I don't have to control. I can just release. And if it's helpful, going through the steps. So first step, noticing the meditator is maybe aware of the body, flipping it around. Okay, meditator, you can take some time off. The body is already aware, already present, already aware of the mind and heart. And then notice it's actually this awareness that really includes the body, that's present and aware of experience in this moment. And if you'd like, for these last couple of minutes, you might want to particularly tune into the quality of this awareness that's really not picking and choosing, rejecting, is accepting and allowing, and is understanding. So seeing if you notice this sense of acceptance, compassion, unconditional love. Resting in that. Okay, great. So if you like, opening your eyes, moving around a little bit. So I don't have any quotes today that I felt really went so well with this meditation. So maybe I'll just make some comments about what we're doing, why we're doing it. Although one thing came to mind as we were ending that meditation, and the invitation was really to tune into um, the unconditional love and sense of compassion that can be detected in this intuitive awake awareness. And I was reminded of the teacher Shinzen Young. I have actually shared a quote, but I don't have it in front of me. In talking about equanimity, so part of the meditation instruction there was to notice that this intuitive awareness is actually not picking and choosing, rejecting, looking for something better. Uh, it is uh, has the quality of equanimity, allowing things to be as they are. And Shinzen Young talks about this quality of equanimity and cultivating it through meditation. And he kind of concludes that that is actually um, the nature of love, this equanimity. So that is, I would say that his perspective there isn't a kind of philosophical perspective, that's an experiential expression. So as we get more used to connecting with this awareness that's already here and is not the doing, planning mind, we can tune into the qualities that are already there. And undeniably, there's this quality that the awareness is not struggling with what's happening right now. It's not impacted by what's happening right now, but it's not disconnected and cold and has this subtle, or at least initially it's subtle, it can actually get pretty strong, but um, touching into it has this subtle sense of, possibly because it's not rejecting and selecting, that it's supportive and holding and compassionate. Um, and loving, but not based on particular characteristics. So unconditionally loving. So in the meditation, kind of was already mentioned, right, that the difference between what we're doing here and what we, for the most part, do in MBSR or other mindfulness-based traditional practices is we are kind of co-opting, using attention and the problem solving, fixing, doing part of the mind in the service of understanding ourselves and others, and uh, waking up from constantly being in a trance of thinking about the future, replaying the past and modifying it so I look better, um, wanting things, not wanting things, whatever. The whole kind of trance and build up of stress and all of that. So we learn first how to use this like really kind of obvious, accessible tool of attention and deliberate focus to begin to break apart and really understand what's going on. And that's a good thing. Like, you all know it, or you wouldn't actually be doing this right now. That does provide us some freedom and understanding of our patterns and how those patterns can uh, mm, not be serving us, and how they're not real in a very essential way. And that rather than just allowing repetitive thoughts, uh, firing the same neuron path over and over again, this self-reflective capacity of the mind, which actually I see as part of awareness, that we're already tuning into that, but we can use mindfulness to notice what's happening. But usually we are using the tool of this attention, and it's sometimes referred to as deliberate mindfulness, and it's a good tool. But and there's like a gazillion of these metaphors in contemplative traditions, because they pretty much all deal with this same thing, that as we are using that tool, paradoxically, we're actually reinforcing a basic confusion, and that basic confusion is that we think the tool is us. And so traditions use all sorts of metaphors, like it's the raft to get from here to the other shore, but then you're supposed to leave the raft at the other shore. You're not supposed to carry it up onto the land with you, so to speak, if you want to use that metaphor. So in this practice, we tried one way to leave the raft behind, and that was this flipping the perspective from me aware of the body, no matter how um, calming that can be, and possibly even insightful. But it's a raft that gets in the way, and so uh, and it may or may not have been helpful for you. But the instruction was to flip that over and just allow the body to be aware of itself, and aware even of me, aware of that little self. So if you're curious about that, if it was helpful. If you want to continue with it, I would suggest that that little flip, instead of making it grand, okay, now I'm going to be connected to intuitive awareness and I'm going to act out of that. That can be a little difficult during your day for a lot of us. So a little bit closer to home, possibly a little easier, is to first of all, let's say you're in the kitchen or you're walking somewhere, you're doing something, probably by yourself. Not, uh, yes, you could do it in relationship, but maybe starting here and noticing when you are involved in the trance of tomorrow or yesterday or thinking or whatever. Okay, so recognize, oops, there I was. Either it was something stressful or just like the mind is trying to entertain you, whatever's going on. Notice that you're kind of caught in that trance. And then if you would like to be mindful, your next step might be to, use this tool to be mindful of, as like they'll say in Mindful Magazine or something, the smell of the coffee or whatever. So the option here with this not so effortful mindfulness is not to do that, but to notice when you're in the trance. Notice now you're kind of got this tool that wants to do something, releasing the tool. You're not needed, tool. The body, so using the body is already aware. The body is aware, it's present, can't be any other time, any other place. It's right here and now. It's already aware of itself because it's part of awareness, and it's aware of me. Okay. So noticing I'm in the trance, I'm just about to maybe deliberately be present. I can recognize I don't need to do that. I'm already present. Awareness is already here. The body, if you will, is already aware of itself, aware of breath, aware of me. Have fun with that, and happy practicing, and see you next time.